Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Want to go over the absolutely ridiculous free game offers on Amazon Prime Gaming, which has become this spot that a lot of people are like, bro, when did Prime Gaming get absolutely nuts? And yeah, it's been nuts for a little bit. Like, I've been covering it for a little while, but I've been noticing it in my comment section where more people are pointing it out, and we've been covering a lot more GOG deals. They've got some great GOG titles here as well as a part of Prime, so definitely want to go over that. GOG is a great spot, so every time that a game is GOG, a key for a GOG game, and you can claim it for GOG, that's obviously going to make it even better. We do have a couple of Epic Games Store titles, so we'll go through those, and I do want to reiterate the freebie on the Epic Games Store, which is a great one. There's actually 2 free games, and there's a freebie that's a Steam game over at Fanatical, so we'll talk that, and some great deals over at Green Man Gaming, a lot of Capcom stuff discounted, so we'll get to that at the end of this video. But right off the top, Prime Gaming's got some absolutely nuts free games. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy for the Epic Games Store is available free with Prime. However you want to decipher that, it's free with Prime. Guardians of the Galaxy is a fantastic game that unfortunately kind of bombed commercially. That's the reality with these Marvel games. Like, you gotta pay a pretty penny for the license, and if those games don't sell millions, even if they're critically well received, GG, no re. But in the case of Guardians of the Galaxy, I thought it was a really, really well done game. Narratively pretty solid. It was actually my first exposure to the Guardians as characters, and I thought they were really well done. I like the Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm not a big Marvel guy. I'll play the video games, I'll watch a movie here and there, but for the most part, I'm not really, up to date with everything Marvel related. I watched the Spider-Man movie with all the Spider-Men in it, and I'm not watching it regularly, but I can still enjoy the games if they're good. And Guardians of the Galaxy, I did think was quite good. Unfortunately, never gonna see a sequel to this, so that's a little bit of a bummer, but that is what you're gonna get when it comes to games like this that unfortunately don't do that well commercially, but still a solid game, definitely worthwhile, and a solid length to it as well, like 12 to 15 hours as far as the campaign goes, and you're gonna get a good time overall as far as that's concerned. That's Epic Games Store. We got a couple of GOG titles that I think are worthwhile to mention. Mafia Definitive Edition and Plague Tale Innocence. Okay, let's break both of those down. Mafia Definitive Edition is a ground-up remake of Mafia 1, and it's pretty damn good. Like, Mafia 1 was a great game, but obviously you go back and play that now, and it's going to show its age. The remake is good in the sense that it uplifts it from a technical standpoint. From a gameplay standpoint, it's still a fairly basic, like, third-person cover shooter. Like, it's fine, it's totally serviceable, but it's not anything blow away. But you are playing Mafia for the narrative, for the characters, the voice acting, all of those elements are chef's kiss, tremendous, just absolutely well done. And what I love about Mafia is that, guys, we are in a world where there are so many games that are 50, 80, 100 hours long. Sometimes you need an 8-hour experience that gets in, tells its story, and then gets the F out. Like, see you later after a weekend of playing it, and that's sometimes exactly what you need, and Mafia offers exactly that. Thought it was a well-done game, and a GOG copy here as well. Definitely a good shout there. We got a Plague Tale Innocence. Like I said, this game is fantastic as well. Very much narrative-driven. Gameplay's pretty decent as well, but a dark ambiance to it. A little bit lengthier than Mafia from my recollection, but still a fairly short game that you could probably complete over the course of a weekend or two. Plague Tale Innocence is really good, and after this, you'll definitely want to play Plague Tale Requiem. That game was tremendous as well, but yeah, great narrative-driven title and a great main character on top of that, and solid voice acting, all of that good stuff. So definitely check that out. That one's worthwhile. Death's Door, Epic Games Store, Scorn, Epic Games Store, Doom Eternal on Windows, BioShock Remastered GOG copy of that, The Gunk, Pumpkin Jack, just a ton of free stuff, and obviously the top 3 titles, Guardians of the Galaxy, Mafia, Plague Tale Innocence. Tremendous offers there. I do want to reiterate that the Epic Games Store is giving out Ghostwire Tokyo for free. That is a tremendous freebie, given that, that's a game that still goes for like 15 to 20 bucks, and I thought it was a pretty solid game overall. Was it perfect? No, I thought narratively it actually kind of fumbled, especially in the second half. It starts off incredibly compelling, and then unfortunately doesn't really maintain the momentum it sets early on, but a great game nonetheless. I thought the gameplay was quite solid, and overall, a good playthrough, all things considered. And if you rush through the campaign in that game, it's actually fairly short, but there's a lot of bonus content, like side missions and everything like that. The side missions are kind of redundant, though, so keep that in mind. Nothing to write home about as far as that's concerned, but Ghostwire Tokyo overall a solid game. Then I do also want to give a shout to Fanatical. They've still got Unloved being given away. Now, this was free directly on Steam for a little bit, but it was only free for a day, and I had some stuff to do literally the day that it was free, so I unfortunately didn't get around to doing a video on that. However, Fanatical is giving away Steam copies of the game, so you can just get the Steam copy by signing up for the email newsletter and then linking a valid Steam account. So a valid Steam account is, I believe, any account that has spent at least $5. So keep that in mind. There is a bit of a restriction, but yeah, go check it out. A free Steam game. Always a decent shout to pick those up. And then, do want to highlight some of the Green Man gaming deals that are available outside of the free stuff. Resident Evil 4, the Gold Edition, is 49% off for $25.49. That includes RE4 as well as the Separate Ways DLC starring Ada. Great game. I've often said Resident Evil 4, one of my favorite games of all time. You take one of my favorite games of all time, you do a solid remake of it, what do you get? One of my favorite games of all time again. It was legitimately like one of my favorite games of 2023, and actually looking back at it, RE4 was probably my 2023 game of the year. If Star Wars Jedi Survivor was a good port, I think Jedi Survivor would win it, but yeah, it wasn't, so gotta give it to RE4, but RE4 is fantastic and definitely worth a shout there. Devil May Cry 5 and the Vergil DLC, $8.42, fast-paced action game with a tremendous soundtrack. Devil Trigger is one of the goated action game theme songs, and yeah, definitely worthwhile to pick up. Now, I'm not a big, narrative guy when it comes to Devil May Cry. I will check out the anime. I do think the DMC anime looks solid, but I'm not a big fan of, I've nothing against it. It just never really gripped me. So I mainly played DMC 5 from a gameplay standpoint, but I thought the gameplay was tremendous. And hey, for an action game, isn't that what you primarily want? And it's done pretty damn well. And like I said, great soundtrack. DMC Devil May Cry. This is like the Devil May Cry title that's not a part of the mainline games done by Ninja Theory, the same guys that did Enslaved Odyssey to the West, as well as the recently released Hellblade titles. DMC Devil May Cry is pretty good. It's essentially a game that you gotta go into it not expecting a Devil May Cry game, just expect an action game and you'll probably enjoy it. $6.38 for that is pretty good. And then I do also want to give a shout to Resident Evil Revelations, 80% off for $3.91. In my opinion, one of the most underrated Resident Evil games. I think this game is damn good. It came out during that weird period where Resident Evil was very much in flux. Like, you had releases like RE6 that were like kind of comical, and Resident Evil just wasn't a franchise that a lot of people were gravitating towards at that point until RE7. But Revelations came out before RE7. It was a 3DS exclusive as well initially, then it got ported to other platforms. It's really good, and I would definitely give that a recommendation as well. But that is gonna do it for me. Again, a lot of freebies available right now. Prime Gaming freebies are absolutely nuts. Free game on Epic Game Store with Ghostwire Tokyo, Unloved, last chance on that, and some great deals at GMG. Links to everything, as always, in the description box below. That's going to do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.